All right. There we go. It says we're live. So, welcome from the crossroads of America. A 1 hour talk show. It's actually shooting with disabilities. But we do talk guns, politics, or anything else that crosses my mind. Answer questions from the audience. Just put them in the chat or email me at rickslife@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. I've got a Patreon page, PayPal, all that other good stuff down in the info section down below. So there we go. That's out of the way. Let me see who was first in the chat tonight. Let's have a look. Gun-loving Grandpa, then MK Joe, Mystic Guns. Who else we got in here? Kingpin, Jason Stewart, 2 Live Moo. Who else is showing up? Nope. Rich White's in there too in the chat. So people are starting to come in now. So anyway, let me introduce my panel so far tonight. We have got the one and only Night Strike. How you doing?
I'm doing good, and since 2 Live Moo is out there, all I have to say is moo.
Then we got the one and only Squibload.
Yep.
And we got Jason Stewart.
Good evening, Rick. Good evening, everybody.
Yeah. Then we got Kingpin.
Here.
Yeah. Then we got Rich from This Week Unloaded. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
All right. So, John Brown Productions is showing up. Raphael's here now. So people are starting to come in, you know. So I was just thinking, I don't know if it's got anything to do with disabilities, but I had a question. Do you train or go shooting in the rain? I don't, because I don't like getting wet. 2 is that, when it's damp and raining, the arthritis plays up more. So I normally will not shoot in the rain. I know you're gonna be some diehard gun nuts out there saying, "Well, you might be attacked in the rain, so you need to practice in it." Yeah. Oh well, I'll take my chances. That's the way I look at it. So, all right. That was my take on it. I just wondered what other people thought about it. What about? Let's see. You got anything on that, Night Strike?
Well, I've shot in the rain, okay? And it's nice if you have a canopy or a tent above your head when you're shooting in the rain. But if you don't have it, I don't like it personally myself. I'd have to be underneath like a tree branch or something, so I'd have some sort of cover instead of, nothing above me because, sometimes with rain, guess what also comes? Lightning and thunder. And the thunder doesn't bother me so much as the lightning does.
Yeah, true. Especially when you're holding a steel weapon in your hand.
No, especially when you're holding a long steel pipe.
Yeah,
technically. Yeah. So yeah, the only reason why I don't like to shoot in the rain is because of the factor that when I have to clean off my guns, I have to wipe them down when they get wet and re-oil them and everything, just to prevent any rust from happening. And that just ticks me off that I have to do that extra effort on that instead of just putting the bore snake down the barrel and cleaning the fire control group and the bolt.
Yeah. I break my guns down and clean them all the time after I shoot them anyway.
I do too, but I just clean the bolt, I clean the fire control group, and I just run the bore snake down the barrel, and that's usually good for me.
Yeah. What about you, Squib? You shoot in the rain?
Does the snow count?
Yeah.
Well, then, yeah, I guess so.
All right. Now, there's a slight difference of being undercover when you're doing it than actually standing out there in the snow or rain. So, I don't like shooting in the cold either, but I will shoot in the cold. But I don't like shooting in the rain or anything like that. But I don't mind standing out in the cold. Well, I do mind it, but I will do it. in the cold. But that's just as bad as shooting in the rain for me with the arthritis. But I guess when it comes down to it, I just don't like getting wet. What about you, Jason?
Yeah, I've been shooting in the rain. I don't think I ever left for the range with it raining, knowing it was going to rain. But I've been caught in the rain, and before I ever had any range membership, I was just going to my friend's property and caught out in the rain many times there. It ain't the best. I mean, you don't really maybe stay as long as you wanted to, but
yeah,
as long as it's not like nasty storm or something, you just hope it's going to go away. It does kind of suck. I've dropped loaded magazines before in mud puddles and stuff. That kind of sucks, but I've been out in the rain before.
Well, yeah, I mean, getting caught in the rain, but I mean, when you go to wherever you shoot and it's raining before you get there, I won't do that. I mean, I have shot in the rain, but I normally, as you said, I'll finish off the magazine I'm shooting or whatever, then I'll grab all my stuff and hightail it out of there, because I don't like it. But no, if it's raining, if it's already raining when I get there, I'm not getting out to go shooting. It's that simple. So,
Rick, do you mind circling back to me?
Yes.
Okay, here's the thing. If you're out hunting, you can expect different kinds of weather. Sometimes you're in a blind where you're protected or somewhat protected, but sometimes you're out in the elements. Other than that, if you're talking about in a self-defense scenario, are you in like a Category 5 hurricane walking between your car and the grocery store and somebody mugs you in that? I mean, you got to think, I mean, when you're talking about rain and getting wet and stuff, the way you're talking about it, I'm picturing like this torrential downpour, and Night Strake's talking about lightning and stuff like that. Do people get attacked randomly during a thunderstorm or during heavy rain? I could understand if it's misting, it's sprinkling, it's light rain, it's right before a rainstorm, it's right after a rainstorm, maybe, but I would tend to think that bad weather kind of keeps criminals away. Or am I downplaying this?
Yes.
You're downplaying.
Actually, you are.
No, you're not.
You are.
Not at all.
No, it depends on where you're at. There have been cases where people have been mugged in a thunderstorm. It does happen. Not as often as it does when it's not raining, but yeah, you can potentially be mugged in a thunderstorm depending on where you're at the time. Okay. I've known people that have been mugged in a thunderstorm.
That's the anecdotal stuff. Yes.
You want me to give you? I can look up if you want. I mean, I can get you statistics.
What are you going to look up? What statistics are you going to look up? Your average guy who's going to rob you isn't going to come and rob you in the rain. Now, if you've got Buffalo Bill,
don't think they won't. Don't think they won't.
Whatever. All right. Whatever, Rich. Whatever. That's okay. That's okay. I mean, you've got 4 examples in the world of somebody getting robbed during a hurricane, and you're making.
I didn't say during a hurricane. I said during a thunderstorm. There's a difference. A thunderstorm is not a hurricane.
Oh, okay. I just want to preface my example. I was shooting out in my backyard range, just doing target practice. Okay, and it started raining, and it got pretty bad outside. Okay, luckily I had a tent or a tent above my head, so it wasn't that bad. But that was just my scenario, and it was lightning outside. So I didn't necessarily mean during a hurricane, because it wasn't a hurricane; it was just a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
Anybody who tells you that you're a fool because you don't train and during the middle of a tornado, tell that idiot, how much training do you do while you're brushing your teeth? And then how much training do you do while you're at the doctor's office? How much training do you do when you're sitting on the toilet? You can beat this horse into a million different pieces. Well, you didn't train at 6 o'clock at night in the rain. You trained at 5:45 at night in the rain, and that's not right. You're not prepared. Oh my! Tell assholes like that to get out of your face.
Nobody's telling you to. I'm not saying go out and train in the rain because somebody might mug you in the rain. I'm just saying it has happened where people have been mugged when it was raining.
And Kingpin, you didn't train right because you used a Glock instead of a 1911.
Yeah.
See, I mean, that's exactly right. Nice strike. I mean, people will pick. When they start saying stuff like that,
they'll pick things apart.
Yeah, I mean, as I said at the beginning, if somebody says that to me, I'm gonna go right back. I'll take my chances. I'm not going to practice in the rain just for a scenario that more likely will not happen.
You have to carry that Glock for when you get attacked during a rainstorm because that plastic gun won't rust when it gets wet. You see,
it'll float.
No, that's only if only if you have the Glock 6. The Glock 6 is the only one that won't rust because it's ceramic and plastic.
No, it's porcelain.
Well, porcelain is a ceramic.
Yeah. But no, I think what Rick was saying is going out and doing target practice or just, general range shooting.
Yeah,
in
basically,
the rain.
yeah.
So, and my example was more like I was out shooting in my backyard range and, a thunderstorm just came along. Okay, that's my example.
So why would you purposely put your gun in an environment that could cause corrosion when you're training, when you're practicing, just doing range time, shooting at paper targets, steel targets, whatever? Why would you purposely introduce that to your firearm if you're not trying to train under adverse circumstances for the fantasy scenario?
Well, because it was hot in the summer and we had our own outdoor range, and I went outside and shot in the rain because it was cooler at that point in the day.
I was shooting earlier in the day when it was clear, and then the storm came along, and I wasn't ready to finish shooting. So I was going to have my time and shoot as much as I wanted to, and then I was going to go inside. Okay. If I have to wipe things off, and oil them down again and clean them, that's fine.
All right. Let's move on. Kingpin, did you actually answer the question?
Yeah, pretty much.
And Rich answered it in a certain way. Or you got any more explaining to do, Rich?
Well, if it comes to shooting in the rain, it depends on what time of year it is. Like I was just saying, when we would get the warmer weather starting like May and June, when it would start to get hot and humid, it would rain, or we would get rain in the afternoon. Like Kingpin said, we get a freaking goddamn monsoon season here in the Mid-Atlantic area now, thanks to, I don't know what's causing it, but yeah, we've been getting a lot of rain this time of year usually. So, it gets to be where it's 90 degrees with like 90% relative humidity, and it starts raining. Yeah, you're going outside and you're just playing in the rain at that point, just to cool down. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Travis P11 out in the chat goes, "I'm a Nebraskan. We train rain, snow, or shine." Yeah. Well, what can we say?
Now, on the opposite side of that coin, if it's winter and it's like 40 degrees out and it's raining, oh hell no! Because then you get soaking wet, you get freaking cold to your bones, and you go inside and it takes 2 hours to get warmed back up again. And I ain't dealing with that, especially because when that happens, my knee hurts to all hell from when I played sports when I was younger, and my elbow, because of the damage I have to my elbow, hurts like a son of a bitch. So no, I'd actually rather shoot in the snow at that point than I would the rain when it gets to be that cold.
Travis also says, "I'm so lazy, I'm watching the chat on TV and commenting on my phone." Well, I do that too. Anyway, moving on. I haven't ignored you. How you doing, New York Outcast?
Doing all right.
All right. So do you practice in the rain?
Yes, and I'll answer this unlike a politician like everybody else on this damn show. Yes, I've trained in the rain or go shooting in the rain. No, I don't think it's a major thing, but I do think you guys are overlooking domestic issues, all types of things where shit happens on a bad day. Do I train for that purpose? No, I just go when I can go, and sometimes it's raining. So I clean my guns and enjoy doing it. So yeah, even if it's raining, I've gone in the rain. I'm usually under a treetop canopy. You get wet, but you don't get drenched unless it's a heavy downpour. But I get wet, my guns get wet, I clean them, I take a shower, life goes on.
Okay.
Man, an apology before we move on. If Rob owes me an apology, or I'm not going to let this show move forward. He called me. He lumped me in whether you're talking about me
Damn
directly,
politicians.
call me a
Our
jackass, call me a
explanation.
fried turkey, call me an idiot or a liar or a loser. Just don't call me a politician.
Rob, you owe me you owe me an apology too.
All right. All right. I rescind my earlier statement. I apologize. I did say like a politician, so that doesn't necessarily mean a politician.
Now you're trying to
I'll
walk it
rescind
back.
it anyway.
Save your breath. I'll never forgive you.
No.
Never forget.
Kingpin's just going to dig himself deeper into Mystic's doghouse. So I mean, he needs just to stop.
Jason, hashtag cancel New York out.
Well, that's okay. He can dig himself in the doghouse more and more. It leaves a chance for the rest of us, don't it?
Yeah, I suppose so. He keeps it up. He's gonna get himself in worse trouble than what moves in out there. So I don't know.
Well, Wildren well armed. Do you practice in the rain for the scenario that you might be attacked?
Yeah, I go to the indoor range in the rain, so I don't mind getting in the car in the rain. But I have gone to my brother's gold mine and shot in the rain over there with him.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, he put a brother.
Did I hear you correctly? You said your brother's gold mine?
Yeah, he's got a gold mine in Alabama.
That can't be possible. All mines in America have been closed down. We don't dig anything out of the ground and melt it down for metal of any sort anymore ever again in the history of the entire planet forever.
Well, his gold mine, he bought 150 acres with a couple of buildings and house and for $150,000. It was a bankrupt gold mine that was run by a bunch of shysters that never had any gold. And so he still gets people calling him up, asking him for money. And he's like, I bought this title clean and clear. They went bankrupt. Sorry.
I mean, but does he work the mine?
There's a bunch of gullies that they washed out with all the mining equipment. There's some 36-inch wells that are like 300 feet deep that are, concrete cased. So it's really set up nice. They got a pole barn. They had all the mining equipment in. The mining equipment never stayed. There was never any gold in that part of Alabama.
Oh, okay.
But it is on the tip of the Appalachians. I never knew Alabama had the Appalachians, but I guess
I didn't know. Actually, that's why I was asking. I didn't think Alabama had any gold.
I know, and this is south of Talladega, so it's just it was just a ripoff. Somebody just decided to set up a gold. This is back when gold hit 2,800 an ounce, like it is now.
Oh, okay.
Back in the Obama days.
Yeah. According to the chat, Kingpin can do no wrong. I don't know. I don't know, nobody's reading that.
The chat's picking favorites.
You guys already knew that, though.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, real quick, I want to take a commercial break and promote the AR gun stand behind me from rnldisplays.com. It comes with an actual wall mount as well that you could use it on either. And if you go and order one, you can use the discount code of Rick's Life and get 15% off the price. So there you go. Just want to let you guys know. I mean, because I think it looks kind of sharp just sitting there. I should hang it back on the wall. I haven't touched it for over a week, So there we go. All right, moving on. I mean, be honest with you, I didn't have no topics on the disability side. I haven't been on the ball lately with this format on this show. I do apologize for that.
I got a question that can go. Basically, for the disability side, it would just be you and Wheeled and Well Armed. But Wheelchair Luke put out a video the other day where he got a new bag, and he was talking about how important it is for him specifically to have a good bag and what he uses his bag for. Do you guys have like an everyday bag or an EDC bag or anything like that that you guys carry around with you to, make it easier, not having a bunch of junk in your pockets or having to walk back to the car or whatever the reason is, or, whatever it might be?
Well, yeah, I said my range. I got a range bag that's on wheels. It's actually one of those like carry-on bags for an airplane.
Yeah, but do you take that
One
with
of those
you?
handles on it.
Do you take that with you everywhere you go, or just to the range?
I just take it to the range. Mind you, I say that it used to sit in my truck on the floorboard, but it sat there for 2 years while I lived here in Indiana. But I finally took it out and leave it indoors now. I only take it to the range.
A man bag or a fag bag or a pocket purse.
No, I don't use any of that.
Yeah. Man purse.
I just carry my firearm in a outside the waistband leather holster.
How about a backpack?
And I stick a spare mag in my pocket.
Now, come on. We all know from watching Yankee videos that everybody should have a fanny pack.
Yeah.
Hey, they actually do have a place. They're not common, but yeah, knock it. But right.
Okay, so
we know who on the panel has a fanny pack.
Yes.
Well, I've got what my wife likes to call a manny pack, and I actually got a new one. What do you guys think about me publishing a video about it tomorrow?
I think you should.
I think you should.
Yeah, I think you should do it a video on your
manny pack.
Your manny pack. Wearing your pink shirt.
I think those things come in handy if you're, hiking, lightweight hiking. You don't need a bag, just a day trip, things like that. Medical pack, you can put a lot in. Amusement parks, if you have kids with medicine, things. I mean, I don't know. I think there's some advantages to it. Definitely not 24/7 everywhere you go.
Yeah, I guess you could say there is, but I don't know. I've never had cause for one. I just stuff it in my pockets because normally I'm always. It's only when it's really hot, like right now, because it's been up in the high 80s, 90s, that I don't wear my. Oh, look, he's carrying a gun vest on. Normally I wear that all the time, so I got plenty of pockets to stuff in.
Yeah, I don't go anywhere without my book bag. Nowhere.
So, do you keep a laptop? Who carries a laptop with them on a regular basis? I mean, before COVID and all.
I do.
Yeah, me too.
RFID reader too, huh? Bunch of scammers.
Rob, I don't normally do that kind of thing, but you know what? I make an exception for you.
We know darn well Nice Drake's out there war driving people so that he can illegally download music on other people's Wi-Fi connections.
Shh! You're not supposed to say that on the internet anymore.
I thought it was all data mining nowadays. Let me hook you up with this free program.
Do what? Who's who in the hell's goddamn spamming me here? Let me get rid of them.
Kingpin already got him.
Got him? Okay.
Yeah.
I blame New York Outcast. It's totally him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Stacy timed them out, and then Kingpin hid them on the channel before I could. So.
Okay, great. I'm glad it's done. Okay, moving on. What we? Your mag's inside your
cargo pocket. Just showing us the way I like to carry in the summer when I wear like a tank top or something like that.
That's Smith & Wesson?
No, not a Glock. Smith & Wesson and a Tegwa outside the waistband holster. and the little tabs kind of hold it right in place in the side. Fits fine, so easy access. Obviously, I don't want to touch it, but very easy to get to. Nobody ever knows it's there.
Cargo pocket carry.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a Glock.
Yeah. I've done that with when I'm wearing like my cargo shorts. I'll stick it in the cargo. I'll like my backup. I'll put like the shield. I'll put that in the cargo pocket. Then I'll have like my CZ or something on my hip itself.
That's style holster that you can do that with. Just slide it in. Yard work, all that type of stuff. Nobody has a clue.
Yeah. No, normally, what I'll do is if all else fails and I don't wear my leather holster, is I got one of them. They're like a sticky holster, but it's made by a different company called, is it Ramondo or something? It's called. Same principle. It's got that funny feel to it. I'll stick that in my pocket, and so when I pull it out, the holster stays in my pocket. I
don't know if you guys have seen the latest of the cargo shorts that like Wrangler has, but they're made almost from the same materials like what military BDUs are made from. They're really cool. That's what I got a couple of pairs of those now.
Yeah.
And they got the stretchy waistband so that you can actually stick your concealed carry if you do inside the waistband in there, and the shorts will stretch to go around the gun.
I
thought
that was for you buy a size 38, but you're actually a 40.
I thought that's what
they're not that stretchy, Rick. They only stretch just enough where like you can maybe slide your sidearm in there or something.
All right. Yeah. I just thought you were buying to make yourself look thinner than you really are, by saying, look, I only wear so and so. Yeah.
He totally is. I can believe Rich is. He's totally.
No, I actually buy a size larger so that I can comfortably usually fit my firearm. Like if I'm buying jeans or something, I'll wear a 38, but I'll buy a 40 because it's more comfortable with carrying inside the waistband.
Usually those adjustable bands, in my opinion, I don't like them because they tend to wear out over time.
Oh, everything's going to wear out. Yeah, it's just like the waistband in your underwear, basically. But it's a little stronger.
Yeah.
That nylon and crap rubbing on your skin, if you're sensitive, can be issues. And then if you do go ahead and hook a gun like inside the waistband with that stretchy stuff.
That's why you wear a gun belt too. You don't just I don't just wear the shorts with
I don't know.
Belt.
It's just funky. I don't know. Funky. It just, buy the shit you're supposed to buy. Buy the clothes that fit. I hate all that stretchy shit. You catch it on a nail and it's like snagging you, or kitchen cabinets and all types of weird.
No, it's not that kind of stretch. It's not like gym short stretchy material. It's just a little strip that goes inside the fabric.
Yeah, but they're putting crap in the material. They're cheapening the material to get that stretchy shit, if that makes any sense. So lots of heat, activity, everything they wear out.
You gotta wear a belt with them. Yeah. You're still wearing like your gun belt with them. It's not, you're not like clipping your holster directly to that stretchy part. You got a gun belt on the outside that's actually supporting the weight of your firearm.
Do all of you guys carry because you think you might need to use it? I mean, am I the only one on the panel who carries just because I want to exercise my right, not because I'm even thinking that I might need it that day?
Come stay in New York for a while.
I'll say it. I'll say it for the 101st time. Why would anybody live there?
I live in Maryland. I don't carry.
I carry every day for protection, just in case.
I would like to say that I carry, and I also carry not just for protection, but also for the Second Amendment, because why not?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, you're covering two things from one stone, ain't you?
Because remember, I'm Mr. Shall Not Be Infringed.
Yeah, I mean, I carry here, and I don't feel any danger in my immediate area, except, unless somebody's going to...
Oh, I don't either.
I mean, it's pretty damn safe here in the suburbs, but we did have that murder, 5 years ago, the Dunwoody daycare murder.
Well,
So,
actually, talking about that, I only found out today, just down the road from Deb's a couple of years ago, there was a murder in Birdseye. So that's
Kingpin. You said something, but everybody stepped all over you.
I live in Maryland, so I don't carry, but and I probably live closer to the worst neighborhoods than most of you guys, maybe with the exception of Rob. And I don't feel in danger of being in Baltimore City ever. I wouldn't carry a gun because I'm in fear for my life. If I'm in fear for my life, I don't care what the law says. I'm going to carry my gun with me, but I just don't feel the need to.
If you're not afraid in Baltimore City, it's probably just because it's not raining that day.
Yes, yeah. Don't go on a tsunami.
I'd add, I don't just carry for my protection or my safety, but also my family or anybody in my surroundings. So, again, depending on your area, it might be a little different, but here it's, shootings are kind of regular. A guy across the street got killed. He wasn't shot, but he was suffocated and robbed for drugs. So, like 40 feet away from me. It's trouble lingers and goes around, and even in the suburbs around here, somebody on that nice block's got a kid that's with a dope problem, and his friends and this and that are looking for easy shit to steal, and sometimes people get in the way. So not stating, like, I forgot what the statistic was. I used to know the number, but you have a higher likelihood of having issues here, and I already had issues here, so it just makes sense here. Or you're really gambling with the numbers in a sense. So, especially if you have to work in, some bad places and associates in sketchy areas. If you can avoid all that, just go downtown, do your job, run back to the, suburbs grocery store and live your life, you're pretty good. But unfortunately, my job has me in some of the worst tenants. I mean, there's been shootings while I was at the building, where people drive by and shoot the building with the police there. So you never know.
Hell, there was a drive-by yesterday at the George Floyd Memorial. So
and that was caught on TV too.
Some channels, yeah. Like CNN, I was watching Crowder earlier. CNN refusing to cover that it ever happened. But then the San Jose thing that happened today, it's all over CNN. But the drive-by at the George Floyd thing, they didn't mention it once on like CNN or MSNBC or any of those news channels. The one channel that Crowder had coverage of it was actually an Australian channel.
It sounded like fireworks. There were so many shots, and it was over a parking spot.
Yeah, 32 shots were fired, and there's this one guy. He's just walking around like he doesn't look like Joe Biden, not knowing what the hell's going on around him.
Isn't that some sort of cop-free zone or something?
Yeah.
Some people will fight to the death over a parking spot, or if you cut them off, or if they're in your yard or whatever. They're not logical. Like, you can't reason with some of these people. So be cautious if anything happens, with anybody out there. Some of these people you just can't reason with. So expect a fight or go the other way.
Yeah. Did you, you got that mass shooting down in California now that they're trying to figure out. But, that's another reason. Okay, Squib. Whether your company allows you to carry on premises or not, but just for argument's sake, say they don't care whether you carry or not in your building, and you only carry when you want to do the second. What happens if you had a scenario of an active shooter come into your factory? Talk to me, Squib. Or are you busy?
When you do that talk to me thing, I don't want to talk to you.
All right. Fair enough. So,
You drop out of the rafters, club him with a wrench, drag him over to the injection machine, and send his ass through.
Yeah, on that topic, my wife told me, I think it was yesterday, that the hospital she works at is going to do one of those survive a mass shooter scenario things, and she got mad because I told her that those classes get people killed, and she's like, "Why? They're going to teach us how to hide properly and all that," and I'm like, "That's how they're going to get you killed. They're going to make you a static target sitting in a corner somewhere. If you get one or more shooters coming into that hospital wanting to kill people, you're making yourself a perfect target doing that. The idea is to get out, not go and hide somewhere."
Yeah, we tried that at my last job, and I said, "This is bullshit. You're making everybody an easy target." And the local police department was in the meeting, and they agreed with me. They said, "Yeah, you need to get out of the building. Once you get out, you need to get out of the way of the first responders. Don't try to get in your car and drive away because now you're a suspect. Don't fight the police. Don't go back for your purse. Just get out and go to rally point." So we actually set up 4 rally points in the parking lot. They were color-coded. We had a person that was supposed to do roll call there. They had a list. They had access to a digital list. We had 2 backups in case that person was out sick or on vacation or on business, or they were one of the people that got shot or something else like that. And we ended up working out. But originally, they wanted to do the whole hide, or run, hide, fight with an emphasis on the hide. And the fight part is the thing that they did the very least of in the training. They're saying throw staplers at them. They actually had people throwing rubber balls at a woman with a rubber gun, with just one of those blue guns, and she got 3 of the 4 before they hit her with the rubber ball. And it's funny, as the cop hands her the blue gun, and she looks at it, and she goes, "Oh, it's a Glock. I was hoping for a Walther." And right then and there, they should have known. If she already knows the difference looking at a blue gun, yeah. So they were trying to say throw staplers, grab a fire extinguisher, stuff like that. And I'm not saying that wouldn't work, but our work was emphasizing hide under your desk or stay in the room or do this. It's like, no, this is just like a fire. Get the hell out. And that's what we did. We incorporated the fire drill into the active threat drill. And then when we had a bomb threat in the building, we actually used the plan, and it actually worked. And it was surprising. It really was surprising.
Yeah, she said it's one of those classes where they tell you not to grab a weapon or something. She's like, they're going to tell us not to use the fire extinguishers and stuff because that's going to make us a target. I was like, no, that's exactly what you do. If the only thing you can get your hands on is a fire extinguisher and you got an opportunity to whack the guy in the head with it, you goddamn well do it, and then you run.
The same device that you can use to put out a fire or at least keep them at bay to get people out is the same device you can use to break a window to get out. There's no other way to get out of the building. And it's the same device that you can use as a weapon, either the spray, the chemical spray from it, all it is baking soda, or just the weight of it itself. And I'm not encouraging somebody to fight back. You don't bring a fire extinguisher to a gunfight, right? You get out. That's what you do. But don't get run over by a fire truck or a police car running out to the parking lot, though. That would be ironic.
Oh, God.
Well, what about this? This is absolutely a simulation, YouTube and Google. Say Jane Smith is standing next to the fire extinguisher and bad guy A is the only bad guy. And Jane pops him in the head with the fire extinguisher. Why not stand there and bludgeon him to death? Why not train her to whack him 4 or 5 times in the head so he can't get back up?
Because we're only meant to stop. We're only meant to stop the threat.
Yeah, I would think she probably would, or would be wise to. Not necessarily bludgeon to death, but to definitely stop the threat, unconscious, whatever, until can be, trying to think of the word here, basically properly detained or whatever. But definitely, take the fight out of the individual.
Personally, myself, I have the feeling, I don't know if it's going to happen because I've never been in this scenario, but I got a feeling if I have to draw this gun to stop somebody, I'm not going to stop pulling the trigger until my gun's empty. I'm going to make sure he's out and down. I don't know if that's the right thing to do or not, but I got a feeling because I think my adrenaline will be going, and I'll just keep pulling the trigger.
Yeah, you're ready for a job in law enforcement with that line of thinking.
That's what I was. I think I would make a good cop.
I mean, the person's down. They got 18 holes in them. There's blood everywhere. They're not moving, and 4 cops are standing over them, emptying their mags, and it's all on video from multiple angles. And they're going, "It was self-defense." It's like, dude, the guy was already dead. What are you doing? Making sure?
But that's basically what they instructed us to do in my concealed carry course in New York. Unload, check your surroundings, and reload to make sure there's nobody else, family members, stragglers coming up or whatever. But basically, pretty much empty a magazine, which I think is morally debatable. But at the same time, their reasoning is it's a lot easier without a second side of the story, I guess, is how they kind of put it. I don't know if that makes sense, and I'm probably screwing it up, but legally in court, blah, 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 it's a lot easier if,
it's better. It's easier to ask
it's just you. Yeah, and you're not paying for medical bills and all that, basically, and the threat in a sense. So I'm probably stating that wrong, and the people would cringe at course I took, but that's basically what they're telling me.
Cringe at you, Rob. That's besides the point.
Yeah, I was only talking about mass shooter invasion type of situations, not your personal defense situation. That's something you had. I'm just talking about when you're training these people how to get out of a office building and they're standing next to the fire extinguisher with the bad guy. Why not, crack his skull wide open before you leave, as opposed to just popping him once and running?
Well, just like Rob's shoot him in the front yard and drag him back in the house and you're okay type scenario, there's a certain amount of liability. So, if you hit them once or twice and they're down and you gave them permanent brain damage, oh well. But if the medical examiner says, yeah, they were struck 15 times while in the prone position, you better have a damn good lawyer. That's something that you're gonna get charged with. I'm not saying it's wrong, okay? This person wants to take your life and you take theirs in the process of defending yourself. Part of me says okay, but legally, that's an area where if you want to go there, I hope you've got a lot of money to pay for a defense team.
Yeah. Well, only a maniac would suggest 15 blows to the head.
Right.
I'd stop at 12.
Oh hell! Going to Rick's thing, when it comes to adrenaline, you may hit somebody 10 times before you even realize you've hit them 10 times. That is completely and totally plausible. If you look at people that carry the smaller capacity handguns, they will unload their handgun before they even realize that they're still firing before somebody carries a larger capacity handgun. Like if Rick carries the Shield Easy 380, he would unload that before I unloaded my CZ P10C. I would, at some point, I'm going to realize, hey, I just fired 10 shots, stop shooting. Rick's going to fire all 8 or 9, depending on how he's got the thing loaded, and not even realize he's done it.
Yeah, shoot till slide lock, then rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Rick, if you want to talk about some sort of scenario at my work, whether I'm armed or not, my first and foremost thing is probably to get anybody near me out of the building, get them to safety. If I can address the threat with or without a firearm, doesn't matter, and I think I can address it, I'm going to address it. But if I'm just going to make myself a casualty, that doesn't do anybody any good. That's one more, body, one more pool of blood to clean up for the poor day shift porter. So it's not I'm going to sit here and fantasize how I'm going to be the hero, because there's tons of people on YouTube that do that, and then they talk sideways out their mouth. If it really happened, they wouldn't know what to do. And no two scenarios are identical. You could say, well, you can be specific. You know how many square feet your building is, how many people in there, where the entrance is. Yeah. But there are so many random variables that can happen. If I had a weapon or I didn't have a weapon and I had the opportunity to stop the threat, then I'm going to try to stop the threat. If it makes more sense to get people out, then I'm going to try to get people out. That's probably going to be my first thing. If dealing with casualties is something that I'm dealing with at the time or after it's over, then that's what I'm doing. I'm doing whatever I have to do. If I end up being a casualty, then I end up being a casualty. But it's not going to be because I tried to do something stupid. I'm going to take a reasonable attempt to stop it. Now, if the person walks up behind me and blows my brains out and I never saw it coming, then that could happen anywhere. And when I talk about open carry, that's usually one of the things that people talk about. Oh, they're just going to sneak up behind you. Well, whether I'm open or concealed carrying, I won't know the difference. It's like having somebody up on the roof and sniping your ass. Did you know that? No, you didn't. So you can't do anything about those sorts of things. Okay, situational awareness up to a certain point. But for the most part, I'm not going to sit here and try to paint this fantasy where I end up being the hero like in the movie, like so many wannabes who've never had a life or death situation, so many wannabes who've never dealt with some serious stuff, so many wannabes who can talk big, but if you tell them you have to take a life, you have to make that split-second decision that you have to live with forever, they're going to freeze up and they're not going to do it. At the moment of truth, they're going to get themselves and everybody else killed because they don't have the balls that, it takes to do that. And it is something, whether this person is the biggest shitbag on the earth and you just did the world a favor, you still have to live with that. So it's not just a simple, easy question to answer. And if it is for somebody, I think they're just living in fantasy land.
I agree. I'm going to be honest with you. I agree with you. It is. I mean, I've had training and I've done all this stuff and I read all the books and all this kind of stuff. But when it comes down to it, you're not going to know until that situation is right in front of you whether you can do it or not. So I'm hoping I can, but you're right. I mean, I understand where that's what I was trying to get at. I mean, like if I was in I don't go to them, but for argument's sake, I'm in a gun-free zone like a shopping mall. Why in the hell I would want to go to one? I don't know, but I would, as you said, I would try to get people out and get myself out before unless the guy was on top of me, then I might try to, do something. Otherwise, I'm going to be the best witness I can be. So I ain't a hero.
While you're running out, and then that way the bad guys got somebody to focus on while you're running. Like they say, you don't got to outrun the bear; you just got to outrun the guy you're with.
I mean, I've thought about some of these situations after they've happened, watching the security camera footage or some of the other stuff. I mean, I was real critical about the El Paso thing. Nobody in the store had a gun? Nobody? And you might say, well, maybe they all tried to get their family out and their loved ones out or some stranger out. Okay, I'll give them that. But you're telling me this guy walks in and there's 50 people all within shooting distance of him and nobody's got a gun? Nobody? And at that point, I mean, I suppose if, maybe first thing you do is maybe get undercover, assess the situation, obviously. But maybe some people, they got a gun, but they don't even know that. They don't know how to do that sort of thing. So maybe there were people there that were armed, but they were afraid to use it, or they really didn't know what to do other than put holes in a piece of paper. So, but I'm not going to be the person saying everybody should have to have training or tactical training. No. And you can spend a ton of money and drive 3 states over and go to some guy who's got a goatee, a shaved head, and a tight shirt, and they have, Joe Blow tactical training, and they set you up for this scenario, that scenario, and this scenario. And then you are at Walmart, and the unthinkable happens, and nothing they taught you will work. Now you've got to, kind of, improvise, right? And are you the kind of person that has the mindset to improvise? You might not be. You might be able to take a set of instructions and a scenario and make it work. But if you have to go outside of those parameters, you can't think for yourself. You probably vote Democrat if you don't think for yourself. But I mean, there's so many different scenarios that can happen. But when you can go back and look at a particular scenario, you can talk about what worked and what didn't if you're doing a training class or if you're trying to analyze it. You can think of things that maybe you can do to improve your skill set because you go to Walmart too, or because you like to go shopping or dining downtown in this area too, or because you take long distance road trips too, or whatever it is. So we can always learn from these scenarios, but you can't count on lightning striking the same place twice.
You can't live your life in fear either. You know, I mean, I get it. Airplanes crash into motorcycles while you're out in the middle of the street. That, you know, whatever scenario, airports get attacked or your coffee shop gets attacked. I get stuff happens. But if you're spending a whole bunch of your waking hours thinking about, is this Nordstrom's going to get set on fire while I'm in here, then maybe you need to reconsider the things that you think about and the way you live your life. Because, you know, like I said, I hang out in Baltimore City all the time. All the time. For years and years and years and years and years and years. Never once have I been afraid, and I've had 100 guns stuck in my face. So if you're living in fear like that, it doesn't matter what you train for. It doesn't matter what you plan for. It doesn't matter what scenarios. You're always going to be paranoid.
Yeah, I see your point. I mean, I don't live in fear, but you know, I want to be able to, besides carrying for the Second Amendment, I want to be able to protect myself if the situation arises. But I ain't looking for it. You know, I'm not saying, well, I'm not going. I mean, like I said, why in the hell will I go to shop? I hate shopping with a passion. So if I can get out of not going to a goddamn mall, the happier I'm going to be. You know? And I said I do carry everywhere I possibly am allowed to. And so if I can't carry inside a shopping mall, I ain't going to shop in there anyway. You know? So. And yeah, go on.
If people just pay attention to what you're doing. And that doesn't mean you have to laser focus on every single breath that you take. That just means pay attention to what's going on. Look around, you know, just enjoy and relax. And life's pretty easy to live.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. I mean, I don't worry about it when I'm going out anywhere either. You know, hey, I went that way for 50 odd years. Like, yeah, going all in the cities and all kinds of stuff without any carrying any firearm or weapon or anything. You know, I only started, as everybody knows, I only started carrying after I got hurt because I thought I'm more of a target now. That's what came to my mind. You know.
Yeah, it's common sense. Common sense tells you I'm not as good as I used to be, so I'm not going to be able to fight 3 or 4 boys off if they come attack me. I need some help. You know, it's just common sense. You're paying attention to what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, you guys got anything else you want to talk about? You know, because this is gun related. I do have something that's not gun related that I thought was pretty despicable. It happened in the beautiful state of Michigan. A high school there, the valedictorian has been told that she can't mention God in her speech. You know, and it's and she told the principal, well, if I can't say what I want in my speech, I ain't going to do it. And the principal come back, well, you got to think of the bigger picture of the audience that you're representing the school.
You know what I would respond with? You want your bigger picture? Here's a bigger picture for you. Stick it.
That's what from right now, I believe that, it's there's lawyers involved right now because graduation's coming up any day now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I would have said that's fine. And then I would have said the words that I wanted to say once I was up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would have done too. I would have said it anyway. But I don't know. I just think it's just what this country's coming to, It's just, but I said that was
what people are letting it come to.
But I've been staying off the news. I'm a lot happier, when I stay away from it. But I did read an article today where our beloved president with 80 million votes said that, George Floyd's daughter came up and wanted to sit on his lap.
Keyword there, beloved.
You know,
I got a good story for you.
Well, what are you?
Talking about little black kids? Go look up the name Mahogany McBride. Type her name into your search bar later on when you guys are sitting around not doing nothing or whatever, and read about her story. I'll give you a quick little synopsis. She thinks Black Lives Matter. So there's a positive story about a young black girl. Mahogany McBride.
all right. But anyway, you guys got. Oh, yeah, go on.
Kingpin, will you type that in? I'll never remember that name or how to spell it. We put it in the chat, in the internal chat,
Yeah.
or external.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, while we're doing that, it's almost 8:00, and before I forget, because I normally forget it, my 2 weekly quiz, and so this is for Saturday, the 5th of June. The question was, in the John Wayne movie Big Jake, I wanted to know the breed of the dog's name, and I think I said I also want to know the dog's real name. So so it's a 3-part question. In the movie Big Jake, I want to know the breed of dog, the dog's name, and the dog's real name. And email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. So there we go. So get that into me. Oh, and you're going to win the swag pack. Oh, and is anybody, I've emailed him, Alaskan, is it 556? If anybody sees him, tell him to email me, because he won a couple of weeks ago, and I don't have his mailing address. Now, I emailed him asking for it, and he's never got back to me. So.
Who was it? Alaskan 556?
Yeah. Yeah. And I got it. And I don't think, I think he's here now, is John Brown Productions. You won last week. So, as I was saying, I think you've got the system rigged somehow, because you don't enter all the time, but when you enter, you always win. So it sounds awful suspicious to me, But anyway, so I'll be getting those out in the mail soon to everybody. Oh, all right. Anything else, guys? What we're going to talk about?
We got a real bad thunderstorm going on, guys. I gotta go outside and train. I'll see you later.
Oh, before I go, don't forget the R&L display for the AR-15 behind me. It also has, I'll try to remember to do it next week, put it on the wall bracket that it comes with too. So it looks like it's just hanging on the wall. It looks really cool. Like it's just suspended there by magic. But if you want one of those, go to rnldisplays.com and use discount code RicksLife for 15% off. So, there you go. All right, you guys got anything else? Or we'll start winding it down.
Just a few minutes ago, you were talking about George Biden. Joey B. and George Floyd's
daughter
on his lap or something. Well,
yes,
he
invited him to the White House yesterday to celebrate the anniversary of his death, and he claims that daughter came up and hugged him and sat on his lap and ate ice cream. And Joe Biden actually said that,
He's just a kind, harmless old man.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, and with that said, I think we all need to stop and appreciate and congratulate George Floyd on his 1 year of sobriety.
Yes.
Wow. Ouch.
Actually, we still got a week because he had enough in him for a week.
He had enough in him to kill an elephant.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I just think it's a goddamn. Also, did you? I read. How's the? I see what the. I mean, I try to stay away from the news, but you do hear it, and you can't help from reading it sometimes. But like the Senate hearings today, like they got what's his name up there for the ATF. They put him in with 4 other people all at the same time, trying to keep the questions down for he doesn't get shot down.
Yeah, G-Webs was live streaming that, right?
Yeah. I think there's 5 people all at the same time, and everybody only got 5 minutes per their turn to talk. So, but I think he got hammered a couple of times, and he lied through his teeth.
Are you really surprised, Rick?
No.
Neither am I.
I don't.
Okay, we know he's an absolute anti-freedom, anti-constitutionalist. But what about the other 4? Who are they?
No, Jason. He's a pillar of the community. Haven't you heard?
Well, I didn't pay attention, but I think there's one going up to be a federal judge. Another one's for 2 of the departments in the government, positions.
They're not like 5 people trying to get the ATF job.
It's 5 different jobs.
Oh, yesterday there was one of Biden's appointees who's got a job, going to have a job in the DOJ, where her nomination would have failed, but one of the Republicans crossed the lines and voted for her.
Yes, I saw that. And I got a feeling what's his name's going to get the ATF job too, because I got a feeling the Democrats are going to vote along party lines, even Joe Manchin and what's her name. But I think the Republican from Maine and the one from Alaska is going to vote for him too. Because they're more Democrat than they are Republican. But what the hell do I know? See, I'm getting on politics, and I don't want to because it just gets me riled up.
Well, you know what? Everything I've seen about the dude and his beliefs, he's a bumbling idiot, just like Joey B is. So give him the job. Let him run the ATF into the ground, into a dismal failure. Let him do it.
That way we can close it and be done with it.
Yeah. I'm not quaking in my boots from him. I don't care what his title says. If he's such an idiot, like I said, let him destroy the whole department, man. Let him run it in the dumps. Let it get all crooked and screwed up and federal investigation.
What about one?
It's not crooked already.
He writes the definitions.
What about? Did you see today that Obama put somebody? The Federal Reserve is now woke.
Yeah, I saw that too. And you see that you can tell I try not to watch.
That place is a joke anyway.
They've even got the embassies have got permission now to fly the Black Lives Matter flag around the world. Can you believe?
Oh hell no!
Our U.S. embassies?
Yes. Biden is given permission. Well, the administration is giving them permission to fly the Black Lives Matter
it wasn't permission. They were given orders to.
Oh, was it orders to?
Yeah, they were given orders to fly it to commemorate George Floyd yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God, I hope to God that they sort out the voting by 2022. We can win either the House or Senate back. Then we stop them dead if we get one of those.
Don't count on it.
What, winning any of those?
No, don't count on fair elections.
No, that's what I'm saying. I got a feeling that we're not going to have them. So, I don't know. Anyway, I'm hoping it's going to work out. That's why I'm looking for 5.56 ammo. Oh,
I've got AK ammo. I'm good.
You're looking for Alaskan 5.56 too.
Yes,
Yeah.
you are.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. All right, guys, it's gone 8 o'clock. Let's wind this up because I want to go get something. I'm having pizza tonight. You know, just a cheap ass pizza from the frozen food department down at the Family Dollar. You know, so it ain't the best, but that's what I'm having.
I had pizza for lunch, so
You know, so
It's no
Yeah.
good, Rick. No
You know,
good.
hey, I tell you what, Family Dollar in this part of the country is having a hell of a time finding employees. So the show, they're not getting truck drivers. They're not getting people to load the trucks. It's pitiful, you know, because our governor's still paying the extra $300. He ain't stopped it yet, you know. So, and Indiana's you know, doesn't have the highest wages in the world anyway. So the extra 300 makes a hell of a difference, you know. So anyway, let's wind this up here. Who have I got here in the corner? Oh yeah, Night Strike. Any shout outs or plugs?
yes. Check Rants and Raves tonight on Roll Call 219's channel because that's where I'll be.
All right. He was in the chat earlier tonight. I don't know if he's still here.
He was probably on break.
Okay. All right. Squib, you got anything?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for being here, Squib. I really appreciate it. Jason Stewart.
Thanks for the invite, Rick. It was good talking with everybody.
All right. Then we got Rich. You got anything?
Yeah, Saturday night we will do our wrestling show. That'll be at 9:05 p.m. Eastern or thereabouts. And we actually have a topic that will cross both political and wrestling for Saturday night. And basically, John Cena's a little bitch. And if you don't know the story, watch that on Saturday night and you'll find out what the deal is, why John Cena is a little bitch. And then Sunday we will do This Week Unloaded. And that'll be at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, also on the Unloaded Media channel.
Yeah, didn't he apologize for something?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Yeah, to the Chinese.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
In Mandarin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And expressed on the translation of how he loves the China people. And
And fucking go live there, you son of a bitch.
basically his own version of LeBron's speech. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How he loves the China people and the China way of life.
What do you guys expect from these Hollywood show types? They're all in the pockets of Big China.
Yeah. So you got any shout outs or plugs there, New York Outcast?
No. Apologize for being late. Thanks for having me. Thanks for joining us. And have a great evening, everybody.
Well, I appreciate it. Will and Well Armed, you got anything?
Oh, thanks for having me, Rick. And I do have a video coming out on, it's a comparison video of two different guns, kind of, would you rather have picking out the best one? So we'll see how it goes.
Has your gun range got rid of all the expensive ammo yet?
No, still got the $37 boxes.
Yeah.
The cheaper ammo is still sitting behind the counter.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
and they might get stuck with that expensive stuff.
They might, but I don't know. Things like looking around, $35 is the price.
Yeah. All right. So I think I got everybody. Yeah. And Kingpin dropped out. I guess the thunderstorm got him. All right. So I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. I know we're slightly off topic talking about that. If you got any topics or any questions you want on the Shooting with Disabilities, email me them. I'll bring it up. With no problem. And if you got any normal topics for Saturday show, email me those as well at the same address at Rick's Life as I see it at gmail.com. Just put in the title Disability or Saturday show, then I'll know which one it goes to. So, I want to again thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate it. And I'll be back on Saturday at 3 p.m. So I will see you all then. So good evening, everybody.
Shall not be infringed.
Goodbye, Sabrina.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Keep them